Hey, Steelers fans. Today we're diving into the latest action with our team. And trust me, there's a lot to unpack. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been on a fascinating ride this season, and there's no denying that their position atop the AFC North isn't just a matter of luck. 9 wins, 6 losses, and a firm grip on a potential home playoff spot. It all points to one thing: leadership and execution that go far beyond the surface. And yes, that leadership comes from a place many often overlook when handing out credit. It's easy to debate, easy to criticize, and easy to question decisions after a tough loss. But the reality is that the Steelers' success this season has been fueled by strategy, adjustments, and a mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity. Think about it. Back in January of last year, there were plenty of voices calling for a change at the top, suggesting that Mike Tomlin's time as head coach might have reached its end. There was a widespread sense that a new approach, a fresh perspective, was necessary, especially in terms of the overall football hierarchy. Tomlin, like many head coaches in the league, wields significant influence over football operations, and naturally, that brings scrutiny when outcomes don't meet expectations. Yet, as this season has unfolded, we've witnessed a remarkable pattern. When the stakes are highest, when the pressure mounts and the walls seem to close in, Tomlin and his staff rise to the challenge in ways that are often underestimated or even dismissed by casual observers. Consider the aftermath of the Buffalo game just a few weeks ago. The coverage was intense, the debates heated, and the speculation about Tomlin's future swirled endlessly. Yet, the very next week, the Steelers traveled to Baltimore and came away with a hard-fought victory against a division rival. Some might call it an ugly game, but anyone who truly understands Pittsburgh versus Baltimore knows that ugly is simply part of the package. The point is that the Steelers executed, adapted, and proved that they could respond to adversity effectively. It wasn't about style points. It was about results, and the result was a 5-point margin that reflected grit, preparation, and strategic adjustment. Following that, the Steelers hosted the Miami Dolphins, a team on a winning streak that had its own momentum. The Dolphins played with intensity and physicality, pressing the Steelers to match every hit, every drive, and every tactical maneuver. And the Steelers did exactly that. They weathered the storm, adjusted where necessary, and ultimately pulled away for a decisive 28-5 victory. It wasn't just a win on the scoreboard. It was a statement that the team's depth, preparation, and adaptability are not merely theoretical concepts. They're tangible factors that can dictate outcomes against tough opponents. Then came the matchup with Detroit, which many considered a challenging scenario, especially given the absence of key players like TJ Watt and Nick Herbig. On paper, the situation seemed risky. On the field, it required creativity and precise execution. What happened next was a masterclass in strategic adaptation. Tomlin, alongside defensive coordinator Terrell Austin, devised a plan that deviated from their typical approach, focusing their defensive efforts on exploiting Detroit's running game rather than relying solely on edge rushers. Alex Highsmith and Jack Sawyer shifted their responsibilities to maximize impact, and the results were immediate and dramatic. Keanu Benton stepped in at a crucial moment, delivering early sacks and disrupting the Lions' offensive rhythm. The plan, daring and unconventional, worked flawlessly, demonstrating that intelligent strategy, when paired with player talent, can produce extraordinary results. It's easy to praise individual performances in such games, but what stands out is the orchestration, the combination of coaching insight, player execution, and adaptability under pressure. Tomlin himself emphasized the importance of attacking from the interior, understanding that the team lacked depth on the perimeter but could leverage its strengths inside. The meticulous planning, the recognition of matchups, and the willingness to deviate from the norm highlight the active coaching that is essential at the highest level. The Steelers did not simply line up and hope for the best. They approached each snap, each play, and each adjustment with intention, creativity, and clarity. This brings us to a broader point about coaching in today's NFL. Success is no longer about sticking rigidly to a single system or relying solely on star players to carry the team. The league has evolved, and the teams that excel are those that innovate, adapt, and exploit every available advantage. Tomlin's best moments often emerge when the team faces adversity, a trait that some might call reactive, but in truth, it reflects an ability to recognize opportunities and seize them decisively. The Steelers' recent string of performances showcases this approach. Whether it's devising unconventional defensive strategies, leveraging lesser-known players in critical moments, or orchestrating offensive schemes that confuse and dominate opponents, the team has demonstrated versatility and intelligence that deserves recognition. In the games we've seen this month, it's clear that the coaching staff is maximizing the strengths of every player on the roster. From starters to rotational players, everyone is being used strategically, ensuring that the team is greater than the sum of its parts. This level of management and foresight is a critical differentiator in a league where marginal advantages can determine playoff positioning and, ultimately, championship aspirations. The Steelers are not just winning games. They are demonstrating that preparation, flexibility, and smart decision-making can overcome challenges that might seem insurmountable on paper. And yet, even with these successes, the conversation often circles back to scrutiny, speculation, and criticism, particularly from those who focus on single moments or isolated controversies. It's a familiar pattern. Any minor misstep or perceived error becomes fodder for debate, while the larger achievements, the strategic triumphs, the adjustments, and the leadership under pressure receive far less attention. But anyone paying close attention sees the difference this team is making, not just in the win-loss column, but in how they approach each game. The Steelers are playing intelligently, executing with purpose, and coaching actively. That combination has transformed what could have been an ordinary season into one that feels truly remarkable. What's particularly impressive is how these strategies have unfolded without relying exclusively on superstar performances. While T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, and other key players are undeniably vital, the coaching staff's ability to redistribute responsibilities, exploit matchups, and empower other contributors has allowed the team to maintain high-level performance even in their absence. This is not simply about filling gaps. It's about creating a system where every player can succeed and contribute meaningfully to the team's objectives. The Steelers' adaptability, both offensively and defensively, reflects a depth of understanding and preparation that is often invisible to casual observers, but is fundamentally responsible for the team's success. The takeaway is clear. This team is not resting on legacy, reputation, or historical strengths. The Steelers are actively analyzing opponents, adjusting schemes, and ensuring that every player is positioned to excel. They are executing at a level that demands respect, both on the field and within the larger context of the NFL. And while debates about coaching decisions will undoubtedly continue, it is impossible to ignore the evidence in front of us. Intelligent, adaptive leadership is driving tangible results. And that, ultimately, is what separates a team capable of contending in the playoffs from one that merely participates. As the season progresses, every game offers new challenges, and the Steelers' ability to respond creatively, decisively, and effectively will be tested continuously. Yet, the trends we've seen, strategic adaptation, player empowerment, and leadership under pressure, suggest that this team is more than capable of navigating the remaining hurdles. Watching the Steelers in action is witnessing a football program that blends talent, intelligence, and strategy in ways that are both exciting and instructive. Whether it's a high-stakes divisional matchup, a game on the road, or a scenario where key players are unavailable, the Steelers have shown that preparation, creativity, and execution can overcome adversity in spectacular fashion. And that's why this season has captured so much attention. It's not just the wins or the playoff positioning. It's the process, the thoughtfulness, and the clear evidence that every decision, every adjustment, and every play is part of a broader vision. The team is being coached actively, thoughtfully, and with a level of detail that has allowed them to excel against some of the league's toughest competition. Every snap, every coverage, and every offensive and defensive adjustment demonstrates a commitment to not just playing football, but mastering it in real time. Looking ahead, the Steelers' momentum doesn't seem to be slowing down. What stands out most is how the team adapts when the unexpected hits. Injuries, absences, or tough matchups no longer appear to throw the team off course. Instead, every challenge has become an opportunity to demonstrate creativity and intelligence. When what was unavailable, for example, it wasn't merely a matter of shuffling the defensive line. It became a chance to test new strategies, redistribute responsibilities, and explore different ways to pressure quarterbacks. Players like Alex Highsmith, Jack Sawyer, and Keanu Benton were thrust into prominent roles, and rather than simply filling gaps, they thrived. These adjustments not only created immediate results, but also expanded the defensive playbook, opening up opportunities that could have lasting impacts on the team's approach moving forward. It's fascinating to watch how the Steelers' coaching staff orchestrates these changes in real time. They don't just adjust superficially. They analyze tendencies, exploit weaknesses, and implement schemes that maximize each player's strengths. The Detroit game was a perfect example. Tomlin and Austin recognized the Lions' vulnerabilities on the interior line, devised a plan to attack from the middle, and executed it with precision. Early sacks disrupted the rhythm of Detroit's offense, and the strategy continued to yield results throughout the game. It wasn't luck. It wasn't improvisation without thought. It was intelligent football, layered with preparation and executed at the highest level. Moments like these highlight the difference between a team that simply competes and one that truly understands the game at a deeper level. Offensively, the Steelers have been equally impressive. Every drive, every play, every formation seems meticulously considered. There's a rhythm to the offense that reflects an understanding of opponents' tendencies, an ability to exploit gaps, and a willingness to take calculated risks. The team's success is not about flashy plays or highlight reel moments alone. It's about consistency, adaptability, and execution. Quarterbacks are supported by schemes that give them options. Receivers are utilized in ways that maximize mismatches, and the offensive line is positioned to protect both the quarterback and the overall strategy. It's a team functioning as a cohesive unit, rather than relying solely on individual brilliance. And that level of synergy is exactly what has allowed the Steelers to dominate when it matters most. What's even more striking is the Steelers' ability to evolve as a team over the course of the season. Early challenges, questionable moments, and tough losses haven't defined them. They've refined them. Each setback has been a learning opportunity, each misstep a chance to rethink and adapt. Tomlin's approach, often criticized as reactive, is actually a testament to a deeper understanding of the game. When the walls are against him, he doesn't panic. He innovates. He looks for ways to turn limitations into strengths, and he pushes his staff and players to do the same. That kind of leadership isn't just about making adjustments. It's about creating a culture where adaptability, intelligence, and effort intersect in ways that produce real results. Even the fans, those who have been skeptical or critical at times, are starting to notice the depth of this process. It's not simply about wins and losses. It's about watching a team that is actively thinking, adapting, and improving. When the Steelers step onto the field, every move seems intentional, every decision calculated, and every adjustment purposeful. That's what makes this team dangerous in the postseason. Opponents cannot rely on predictability or hope that conventional strategies will work because the Steelers are constantly evolving, often in ways that catch rivals off guard. And the best part? This evolution isn't limited to a few star players. It encompasses the entire roster, giving the team versatility, depth, and options that most opponents simply can't match. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing after ESPN reportedly confirmed what many had only speculated. Stefon Diggs, one of the league's most dynamic wide receivers, is allegedly set to join the Pittsburgh Steelers. If true, this move could send shockwaves not only through the AFC North but across the entire league, as teams scramble to adjust to the potential offensive juggernaut Pittsburgh could field. Diggs, renowned for his crisp route running, reliable hands, and ability to make defenders miss in the open field, has long been a coveted target in trade rumors, and speculation about his next destination has dominated sports talk shows for weeks. While the details of the acquisition remain murky, whether it involves draft picks, player swaps, or a blockbuster trade, the confirmation from ESPN has added a layer of credibility that has fans and analysts alike holding their breath. For the Steelers, already known for a balanced defensive attack and a history of maximizing elite wide receiver talent, Diggs' addition could reshape their game plan entirely. Pittsburgh has flirted with high-powered passing offenses in recent years, but adding someone of Diggs' caliber would instantly elevate them to a new level, potentially redefining quarterback dynamics, red zone strategies, and even roster priorities. The ripple effects of this rumored acquisition are vast. Rival teams in the AFC North, particularly the Ravens and Bengals, could be facing a renewed threat in the passing game, forcing defensive coordinators to reconsider schemes and personnel matchups. Meanwhile, fantasy football analysts are already recalibrating projections, eyeing Diggs as a potential season changer in a uniform that historically emphasizes a disciplined, balanced attack. Sources suggest that negotiations were quietly progressing behind the scenes for weeks, with both parties reportedly keen on finding common ground. While the official announcement is still pending, the mere confirmation from a trusted sports outlet has fans flooding social media with reactions ranging from excitement to disbelief. Speculation abounds about how this could impact Pittsburgh's locker room chemistry, draft strategy, and even the career trajectory of their current receiving core. If this move indeed comes to fruition, the Steelers would be making a statement that they are not just contenders. They are aiming for dominance. The league could soon witness a seismic shift in offensive power, and all eyes will be on Pittsburgh to see how the team integrates one of the NFL's premier wideouts into their system. Rumors like this don't come along often, and if Diggs really is headed to Pittsburgh, the NFL landscape, as we know it, might be on the cusp of one of its most electrifying transformations in recent memory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.